I have to say I'm excited because if you all know me, I'm Dave Juntunen, and I'm actually doing the next presentation. And it's an update on the Bridge Management System National Working Group as part of TSB2. But I mean, we had such perfect lead-ins from Dick and the panel because you're speaking the language of bridge asset management. You know, I'm hearing benefit costs, deterioration rates, performance measures, decision trees, and that just really makes me excited. So, but I'm here just to give a brief update of our National Working Group on Bridge Management Systems. And the work scope for the group developed, about 5 years ago now, was to promote the development and or adoption of best practices for bridge management systems, to extend the service life of bridges and demonstrate the value of preservation. So that's another thing we're already talking about. How do we demonstrate the value of preservation? The second part of the work scope was to develop general guidance and examples to help practitioners nationwide identify best practices for bridge management systems that meets the needs of the agency and establishes a process that makes implementation less intimidating. Now, a bridge management system are the tools that help you do bridge management. The most notable tool that many of us have is Ashware BRM, but there's other ones like Dayton DTIMS, Agile Assets, and even our vendors here today are showing new systems that are coming available. So it's either the tool or tools. So some folks have in-house tools to do this. And we want to monitor and share the national development of bridge management systems as they evolve. But basically, we want to be a support group for the bridge management system engineers. Again, it started about 5 years ago, and work that we've completed is we wrote a white paper that showed a tiered approach of, where are you at? Do you feel your bridge management system is at the basic level, at the intermediate level, or is it advanced? And I'm excited to hear that many of us are getting to that advanced level. Long time ago, we proposed a BMS national scan. I think it was also proposed maybe through AASHTO also, the AASHTO Bridge Committee, so there's a parallel effort, and we're going to talk just a little bit about that in one of the other presentations or in upcoming meetings. And we did a survey of the state of bridge management systems, and I have that survey. If anybody's interested in it, just send me an email. Happy to share it with you. It's a little outdated now because it was 2 years ago. Now, unfortunately, we did take a bit of about a 1.5 year hiatus where we weren't really doing anything, and I'm a little disappointed at that. But the good news is we got the group going again. And so I'm going to provide a little update of our recent activity. First of all, we elected some new leaders. I'd like to thank Todd Springer, who was the co-chair of the group, but Todd got a promotion over in Virginia, and so that's kind of partly why we took a bit of a hiatus. But we have Kent Miller now. And Kent's just doing a wonderful job, showing great enthusiasm, new ideas. I'm still participating as co-chair of it. We have Bert Hartman in Oregon to be vice chair. And Nancy, I thought I took this out, but we're showing Nancy as secretary, but this slide, actually Bert is the secretary. We don't have a vice chair right now, so before this goes out, we'll get that corrected. I thought I had that fixed. Now, we've had 3 meetings. Just last week, we had to cancel a meeting. I apologize for that. I was unavailable, and Kent was unavailable at the last minute. But we've had 3 meetings where we, started getting people involved in it again, and now we want to recruit people to participate. Now, we already have 25 people on our invite list to the monthly meetings, and we welcome more. It can be state DOTs, it can be locals, it could be consultants, it could be vendors. Again, we're a kind of a support group. We want to learn together. Moving forward, we want to set the direction for the BMS National Working Group. in the upcoming meetings. What do we want to do next? Now, things we've talked about is identifying challenges so we can overcome those. So again, it's a BMS support group. A lot of time your bridge management system engineer for a state DOT, they don't have a lot of support because it's kind of a new type of thing. And so we can work together so they can go to find out what else is working for another state. And a highlighted yellow is that we don't just want to concentrate on the negative, what we can't do. I want to concentrate on the successes that we've had, because there's a lot of successes out there. People have their bridge management systems up and running. They're at that advanced level. And I want to be able to share that so others can learn from them and move forward. The FHWA actually defines what a bridge management system is. And you'll notice on the slide here, I put advanced bridge management system because, in the tiered structure, that would define this. But I highlighted, of course, it's collecting and processing and storing the data. And it's forecasting deterioration. I think we're going to talk about that in the very next presentation. But what I really liked here is that several different people, both Sarah and Dick, talked about benefit cost analysis. That is a key part of doing advanced bridge management systems, and I encourage us all to be able to start to speak that language. And it's identifying your short-term, and long-term needs. It's determining strategies. So maybe we can get to a day where we're not preserving a bridge 2 years before our legislature wants to replace it. But if the legislature's involved, Paul, I don't think we'll ever correct that. It's recommending programs and implementation schedules. And, but at the heart of it, I was just so happy that as mentioned, because at the heart of all advanced bridge management systems is benefit cost analysis. And, and we talk about how can we show the value of preservation. And this is a really cool way to do that, to show it proactively, to convince people that, yes, we should be spending the money on these preservation projects. And I like to show this super simple example of what benefit cost is. And, benefit in AASHTO BRM, it can be total utility, and that can be a little confusing. In DATE and DTIMS or Agile Assets, it's benefit under the area under the curve. But really what it comes down to is buying service life. How much service life am I buying on that bridge if I do an activity? And in this example, it shows if I do a bridge replacement, I'm buying a lot of service life. We could say 75 years, but it might cost $1.5 million. And my benefit cost ratio is 50. Well, we can compare that to a preservation activity. Let's say I do a deck epoxy overlay. I'm only buying 15 years of service life, but it costs $50,000. My benefit cost ratio is 300. And if you compare those, 50 versus 300, that absolutely shows the value of preservation in the long range for all of our bridges. And again, we're meeting monthly with the BMS working group. And, feel free to send an email to me or Kent or Nancy, and we'll be happy to include you in our upcoming meetings. So thank you. If there's any questions regarding the update.
The preceding was produced by the National Center for Pavement Preservation. More information can be found on the web at pavementpreservation.org. Additional support provided by Michigan State University.